Alright, YouTube, so we gotta talk about this Boy Scout shit. Them changing their name in 2019, letting girls join, being inclusive for all that shit. Now, before we hop into this, we are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, trying to hit that sometime in May, hopefully, but maybe we'll hit it in June. If you guys are new, please subscribe. Now, this was a subject that I wanted to make a video about, but I never got around to it. I did keep up with it a little bit through, I believe Birdman made a video or two about it, and of course, like, Philip DeFranco's like my news source. So he's definitely talked about it like a time or two as well. This is something that I think is stupid. It's beyond stupid to have the Boy Scouts, but make it inclusive for girls, even though the Girl Scouts exist. Like, that's obvious. It's obvious to just about everybody. I don't know who they're trying to appeal to. I don't exactly know what their goal is with this. It just seems ridiculous. And even the Girl Scouts, like the Girl Scout community, the league, whatever you want to call that shit, I don't know, the Girl Scouts Association, they're against this idea. They don't want girls joining the Boy Scouts. They want girls joining the Girl Scouts. Because if all the girls are joining the Boy Scouts, then the Girl Scouts just kind of ceases to exist. Now, the argument that I've heard, at least whenever this was relevant a little bit ago when it was talked about, was that, like, the girls and, like, the parents of the girls were upset because the Girl Scouts didn't offer what the Boy Scouts offer, like the cool things that they do. Don't know what that is. I was never in the Boy Scouts. Now, my argument against this is why not change the Girl Scouts to do exactly what the Boy Scouts do? Or if you're going to make, like, a Scouts League association thing, I don't know why I keep calling it a league like it's a sports team. If you're going to make one that's inclusive for all, why not make it a completely new association? Like, don't get rid of the Boy Scouts, don't make the Boy Scouts change their name, just make, like, the Scouts Association or something like that, and it can be for boys and girls. It's just the most obvious thing in my opinion. Boy Scouts to change name, drop boy, and accept girls in 2019, organization says. After 108 years, the Boy Scouts program is set to drop the gender from its name and reemerge as Scouts BSA, a more inclusive group that will also soon welcome girls in its ranks. Again, I was never in the Boy Scouts, so I'm not upset about this because this was something I did in my childhood and they're changing it after all this time. But 108 years of the Boy Scouts of America, and they're all of a sudden just going to change it because people bitch and moan about inclusivity these days. Boy Scouts of America, the parent organization of the Boy Scouts program, made the announcement Wednesday. Though the decision to toss boy aside was considered controversial by some, Chief Scout Executive Mike Serbow said the new name came about after an incredibly fun deliberation. We wanted to land on something that evokes the past but also conveys the inclusive nature of the program going forward. He said, "We're trying to find the right way to say we're here for both young men and young women." The easiest way to do this, again, is to just have a completely different program instead of changing the Boy Scouts to the Scouts BSA and just having boys and girls be able to join. Because now we have the Scouts BSA and the Girl Scouts. There's nothing for just boys anymore. To me, it almost seems less inclusive because you're just doing for the girls. You're just letting the girls join and you're doing nothing for the boys. I could understand it if there wasn't some female alternative to the Boy Scouts. If the Girl Scouts didn't exist, then yeah, okay, whatever. But there is an alternative, so it just seems ridiculous. The name change is expected to take effect next February. Boy Scouts of America and Cub Scouts will keep their titles. Cub Scouts, the program for 7 to 10-year-olds, has already started to admit girls. The 11 to 17-year-olds who join Scouts BSA will likely start referring to themselves as Scouts without a gender modifier, Serbow said. This shit is so absurd, man. Where does this end? What is the end goal of all this inclusivity shit we've been getting for the past couple of years? Like, why can't it be enough that the Girl Scouts exist? Why the fuck do they have to have the girls joining the Boy Scouts and then change the name of the Boy Scouts? And the Cub Scouts have already started accepting girls. Like, what is this? Where did this all come from? The one that first kind of stuck out to me was whenever the whole bathroom fiasco happened, where, you know, they started making gender-neutral bathrooms, and you could go into any bathroom as long as you identified with what was on the door. And I always thought that was insane, because why is that important to you? Why do you need, as a guy who apparently identifies as a woman, why do you need to go into the fucking girl's bathroom? Your sexuality, your identity, whatever you want to say, isn't being attacked because you as a guy have to go into the guy's bathroom. It's just so goddamn stupid, and this is on that same level. Maybe it's not quite as intense as that, but it's kind of there. Like, why do the girls need to join the Boy Scouts? It's such a stupid fucking conversation. The Girl Scouts said their organization was blindsided by the move and are planning an aggressive campaign to ramp up recruitment numbers. Girl Scouts is the premier leadership development organization for girls. Sylvia Avocado, that's not actually her name, it's Acevedo, The Girl Scouts CEO said, "We are and will remain the first choice for girls and parents who want to provide the girls opportunities to build new skills and grow into happy, successful, civically engaged adults." So obviously the Girl Scouts are against this because if more girls are joining the Boy Scouts and there's less girls in the Girl Scouts, and this kind of hurts the program overall. They mentioned right there that they're trying to make an aggressive campaign to get more girls to join the Girl Scouts, and then another part of this article mentions that the Boy Scouts membership or participation has been down a little bit in recent years. So this all to me seems like probably something to do with money. I'm assuming the Boy Scouts cost money to some degree. Like, they're not going to do all this shit for these kids, take them on all these, like, cool-ass field trips or whatever, hikes or whatever it is the Boy Scouts do. I don't know. Again, your boys playing video games growing up. I didn't give a shit about the outdoors. But it's got to cost money somewhere to participate in this, so if they open the doors to girls, girls can join the Boy Scouts, that's just a lot more money for the Boy Scouts of America. And if that's the case, if this really is just like a money grab to make more money, that seems kind of pathetic and stupid. And if that happens to be the case, then that means they don't actually give a shit about these girls or the boys at all. It's just all about the money, which wouldn't surprise me at all. They are like some kind of company, some kind of organization. The money it's all business in the end anyway. So if they're doing it for the more money, it isn't surprising at all. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I missed out on talking about this subject whenever it's kind of stirring up a couple months ago, maybe like later 2017. I don't remember exactly when it was. But then now that it's actually going into effect and it's actually happening in 2019, around about February 2019, that's when I was like, man, we actually got to talk about this. It's completely ridiculous. I've already said it probably a few times in this video. It's unnecessary. There is a Girl Scouts. There is a Boy Scouts. If the Girl Scouts doesn't offer everything that the Boy Scouts program does, just change the Girl Scouts. Or if the Boy Scouts of America want to have like a girl in a Boy Scout program and make a new program. Don't change 108 years of fucking history with the Boy Scouts just because you want to include girls. Anyways, my dudes, let me know your thoughts below on this topic. What do you think about this? Does it upset you? Do you give a shit? I really probably shouldn't care. It's not bothering me. I'm not going to like toss and turn at night thinking about this, but I just wanted to voice my opinion on it. Hopefully you guys, girls, and transgenders enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at @D-David. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written, though?
In the name Boy Scouts.
Give me a smile, give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like